Devotion only up to 19th chapter.
Right.
So once we are done, we are done. Then we have to do the last module of Bhakti Shastri,
Yeah.
which is Ishopanishad. I don't know how many devotees have been coming consistently and doing the homework. You know, I see some of them are registered, but they don't even show up. And in that case, it will be difficult for me to even take the exam. That's the problem. Like one of the example is Shomya Mataji. She doesn't come to class. Right, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. She's
Hare
always...
Krishna Prabhuji, I'm trying to come regularly.
Yeah, you missed a lot of classes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, sorry for that.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me clearly, devotees?
Yes.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Mukam Karoti Chalam Pangum Lagayate Girim Yat Kripatadham Bande Shri Gunde Taranam Pramanam Bhadram Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shakti Sita Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Nattukoti Vaishnava Bind ki jai, Sammal Bhakta Bind ki jai, ISKCON founder Acharya Swami Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So today we are going through the last chapter of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I'm just going to see who is on the call. So we briefly talked about what is Prema Bhakti, and then Prema Bhakti has two symptoms, primary symptoms and secondary symptoms, Mukhya Lakshana and Tatastha Lakshana. And then today we'll focus more on how to achieve that state of Prema Bhakti. Not easy, but how devotee can achieve that stage. And then how slowly it's evolution, right? So how we can evolve to the stage of Prema Bhakti. So we'll just briefly go through the definition so that we understand the background. So this is the definition we saw. Shamyak marsinitah shwanto mamatva atishayantikah ankitah bhavasaiva sandratma buddha prema nigatati. So Prem Bhakti has primary symptoms and tatas symptoms. The primary symptoms is that bhava saiva sandratma. So that's how you have to remember. When bhava becomes fully condensed, when bhava bhakti is fully intensified, then it becomes prem bhakti. So bhava bhakti is a budding flower, bud of a flower, and when flower is fully matured and fully open, fully developed, fully matured, it becomes prem bhakti. So in bhava bhakti stage, what does it mean? It means that in bhava bhakti stage, there is still some contamination, some degree of contamination. Still, there are some propensity of offenses. And when devotee becomes completely pure, fully purified, if there is no impurity left, then it's called prema. And what are the Gaun Lakshana? Shamyak Masrinito Shwanto. It softens the heart. And then, second, Tatas Lakshana is that then it develops Mamatva. In English, we say one becomes very possessive to Lord. My Lord, my dear Lord. Mother Yashoda was very possessive about Krishna. So these two primary and secondary symptoms of Prema Bhakti we have to know. But in a very concise way, if somebody will ask what is Prema Bhakti, it's mature stage, it's fully ripened stage of Bhava Bhakti. That's how we have to know. So we have seen this. Now we have to talk about this. What are the causes? Because everybody would like to know. What cause bring us to the stage of Prema Bhakti? And there are two ways to come to the stage of Prema Bhakti. The first stage is Bhava Uthaha. When Bhava is matured, then it turns into Prema. But then again, how you come to Bhava stage? You can come to Bhava stage through Badhi Bhakti. So Badhi Bhakti can arise into Bhava Bhakti, and then Bhava Bhakti can mature into Prema Bhakti. Or Raga Nuga Bhakti, Raga Nuga Bhava Utaha means Bhava Utaha means to arise, coming from. So from raga, bhava will arise, and then from bhava stage, prema will arise. So prem bhakti, one can come to through bhava bhakti, and bhava bhakti one can achieve either through Vaidhi bhakti or through Raganuga bhakti. So for most of us, this is the path. We are sadhaka. So sadhana is the means by which we come to purified stage. Right? The more sadhana we do, the more we come to the pure stage. The faster we come to the pure stage. And then raga anugya, bhavataha. So both of these are basically Vaidhi Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti. What are these two? What name we can give them? Manoj, what name we can give them both of these together?
Both of these together.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sadhana Bhakti.
Sadhana Bhakti. Yeah. Vedi.
Yes.
Vedi Bhakti.
Yeah. So, if you say in a very concise way, from sadhana, we can come to bhava state, and bhava will lead to prema state.
Mhm.
But then there is another option also, and that is prasado utaha. Guru Krishna Prasad
Bhakti Lata Beach.
by mercy from Krishna also. By mercy also, we can come to a stage of Prema Bhakti. And there are two types of mercy. Mahatmaya Jana. Mahatmaya Jana Yukta Prema means that type of mercy which is coming from great personality, such as Bali Maharaj got the mercy of Vamandev, or Jagai Madhai got mercy of Nityanand Prabhu. Like that, or Prabhupada gave mercy to all the conditioned soul. All of us are receiving mercy through Mahatma Prabhupada. So, but this Mahatma Jana is also Vaidhi Bhakta. So that's the meaning of this connection. So all of us are Sadhana Bhakta, Vaidhi Bhakta, and we are trying our endeavor, but sometimes we might be falling short or on endeavor, or we might be feeling very weak. My dear Lord, I'm trying my best, but not sure if I can make it. But if we are doing something that is pleasing the heart of Vaishnava, then they can give mercy. And example is Narad Muni himself. He ate the remnants of those great devotees, and by eating that, his consciousness completely changed. And then Keval Prem. Keval Prem is mercy that's coming from Lord himself. And that is, examples are gopis. So gopis are follower of Raganuga Bhakta, they are Raganuga devotee, and they get mercy of Krishna, and through that mercy, they come to the stage of Prema Bhakti. So that's how one can come to the stage of Prema Bhakti. Krishna, Prema, Pumya, Artho Mahan. There are many Artha. Artha means goals. material goals. But most prominent goals or goals of all the goal of all the goals that we have is to becoming devotee of Krishna. And that is prema. Prema is the highest most stage. So all of us are in the process of bhakti to come to this stage. Right? All of us wants to come to this prema bhakti. So what is the purpose of this discussion? The purpose of this discussion is that you should intensify coming to the stage of prema bhakti. And you can intensify that by aligning with the teaching of Guru Shastra and Sadhu. Okay. Saying things which are not aligned with what Shastra is saying things which are not aligned with what our acharyas have said. You can do. Who is stopping? Nobody is stopping anybody. Everybody has their own way of living the life and they are living their life. Nobody is stopping anybody, but process will be too long. Punarapi janamam, punarapi maranam. So this is a secret that people have to understand. Unfortunately, it's not, People come from different background and they bring their understanding. And with that, it becomes a very slow process. So our goal, seriousness, what is seriousness means in bhakti? Can somebody tell what is the meaning of seriousness in the bhakti? What is the meaning of being serious in Krishna consciousness? Sadhujananta, what is the meaning of being serious?
Seriousness is to follow the instructions of Guru and the follow the instructions of previous acharyas and as well as sastras. So the three things, right? Sadhu sastra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is seriousness, okay? How much you are molding yourself to align with the teaching. Nothing else, you cannot give your own definition of seriousness. Okay. But that's what happens. We define seriousness in our own way. It's very important to study scripture. So, prem is the goal of everything that we are doing. And we can come through practicing sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti very seriously. And Vaidhi bhakti means do's and don'ts. We saw 64 anga bhakti. There are infinite many angas or multiple angas, I can say. And 64 of those are mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So we had to understand, keep on going back and to read it. So causes of Prema Bhakti. Now I just took it out, a special, chart, a special, way of indicating the message or emphasizing the message, that although we saw here two options, but most of us are following this path. So as a Vaidhi Bhakta, it will lead us to Bhava Bhakta, Bhava stage, and Bhava will lead to Prema stage. And what are the symptoms? What are the symptoms by which we know if we have come to the stage of Bhava or not? So this is the words of Krishna himself in 11th canto. He says, Evam pratah swapriya nam kirtaya. जतन अनुराग उद्धृत चित चहे हसती अथो रोदती रौती गायती उन्मादवन नृत्यति लोकबाह्यः. So, what are the symptoms of knowing that one has achieved this prema bhakti? Hasati, one laughs very loudly. Sometimes you say, oh, this person has been, I don't know why he's laughing, he's laughing like a mad. Tears coming out of the eyes. Shouting, Krishna, Krishna, So shout is symptoms. And then one sings like a madman. One dances like a madman. And lok bahyaha, that is very important statement. Indifferent to public opinion. Pure devotee is not too much caught into what others are thinking. Others are thinking, whatever consciousness they have, right? People are thinking based on their consciousness. So a pure devotee is thinking based on their pure consciousness. And he is not impacted by the consciousness that is shown by others. It says Bahayaha. Bahaya means outside, external. Lok Bahayaha. His mood, his devotion towards Krishna is not impacted by what he is seeing outside. So these 6 symptoms that we are seeing here, these 6 symptoms should be shown by that person who has these 9 symptoms. Okay, so we cannot show those 6 symptoms without going through these 9 symptoms. So that is the point to be noted. Okay, you cannot, otherwise it will be imitation. Shantir avyarth kalatvam viraktir manshunyata asha bandha shamutkantha nam gane sada ruchihi asakti tadagunne akhyane pratistadavashati asthale ityadayo anubhavaha shurjat bhava ankure jane bhava ankure jane bhav ankure jat bhav ankure jana. Now how we know that if bhava bhakti has awakened in somebody's consciousness when they have these 9 symptoms. So once these 9 symptoms are shown, then that devotee is in bhava stage. And in prema stage, on top of that, these other symptoms are shown. So if we look at these things in a very quantitative way, these 9 plus 6, 15 symptoms are there in a devotee who have achieved prema bhakti. Okay, so that is the very last slide. Badi bhakti reaches to Badi Bhava Bhakti, and then it gets to Badi Bhava Bhakti, which is arising, which gives prema. So Badi Bhavatoha prema means that prema bhakti is coming from Badi Bhava Bhakti, which is coming finally from the Badi Bhakti. And Raganuga Bhakti gives to Raganuga Bhav, and that Bhava gives to Raganuga prema. So Badi Bhav plus Lord Mercy. That is Mahatmya Janma Prema. Mahatmya, pure devotee. So, why I wanted to show this thing, that this mercy comes to the person who is in Bhadi Bhakti. Okay, so Bhadi Bhakta, by Lord Mercy, they come to Mahatma Jana Prema. And Raganuga Bhava, devotee who are follower of Raganuga Bhakti, when they come to Lord's mercy, then when they receive Lord mercy, they develop this Kevala Prema. And there is slight distinction here, Vaikuntha versus Golok Vrindavan. This morning we had some discussions, and devotees were saying that, there is no difference between Vishnu versus Krishna. There are. And if you study Shastra systematically, you will come to know that. So, if the Vaidhi Bhakti comes to perfected stage with the mercy of pure devotee, then it leads to Vaikuntha. But when Krishna and Sadhu, Guru Krishna Sadhu, both mercy are upon Vaidhi Bhakta, then through Raganuga Bhakti, they come to Golok Vrindavan. So, as a sadhaka, our goal is to come to Prema Bhakti, go back to Krishna, which is Goloka Vrindavan. So this is what in fact is the substance and abstractive conclusion of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu presents this 9 stages of bhakti, and it tells that Prema Bhakti, which is pure love for Krishna, is topmost stage, and devotee has to go through the stages finally to come to Prema stage. Bhav and Prema, these are very higher stage. Asakti, Ruchi, Nistha, Nathaniviti, Bhajan Kriya, Sadhu Sangha, Shraddha, these are sadhana bhakti. Out of these, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Nathaniviti is initial stage, which are mostly seen into Vaidhi Bhakta, and then Nishtha, Ruchi, and Asakti, these are the stages of Raganuga Bhakti. So this whole from Asakti to Shraddha is sadhana bhakti. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti prominently as a Vaidhi Bhakta, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti as a Raganuga Bhakta. So we have seen the types of bhakti, which is sadhana bhakti. So this line up here, these are sadhana bhakti, 7 stages are sadhana bhakti, and then bhava bhakti and prem bhakti. Okay, so this is the content of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Now I have a summary that I will present in next class for those who are interested to give the exam. So I would like to summarize with this slide. This slide we have seen before. Now we are going to see it again, because this is how we can measure how we are advancing in our Krishna consciousness. So, Kles Agni Shubha Moksha Lagu Krit Sudurlabha Sandranand Visheshatma Sri Krishna Karsani Chasha. Klesa Agni and Shubda, or accomplished, so devotee would not be feeling misery. They will feel that Subda, all auspiciousness, has arisen upon that devotee. Devotee feel very, very auspicious. There is no doubt, there is no concern. Kaun Bhagwan hai, who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, where to go, who to worship. This all is basically nothing but weakness of heart. Hridaya Daurbalyam. We'll see some of that later. So, Shraddha Shabd Vishwas Kahe Dip Nishya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarokar Siddhi Haya. That faith that by doing devotional service of Krishna, nothing else will remain. We don't have to worry too much about so many things. Rather, know the science of Krishna consciousness very seriously. That will give all perfection. And then Moksha Lagu Krit and Sudurlava. Moksha Lagu Krit means Anavilasita Sunyam Gyan Karmadya Navritam Anukulenu Krishnanu Shilnam Bhakti Rupnam. All other desires, Bhakti, Mukti, Spriha, whatever desire we have, that is for our self benefit, that desire will be completely gone. But that is Durlabha stage. Bhakti, coming to this higher stage of Krishna consciousness, is very Durlabha. Is not rarely obtained. Brahmanda Bhavitte Kono Bhagyavan Jeev. Krishna says that Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatmana Sadurlabha. Coming to that pure stage of consciousness, free from all other desire and serving Krishna. Oh, I'm doing everything to please Krishna, not for the name, fame, and our glories. And then you see that word Sandranand. So now it has become very condensed. You have crossed the Bhava stage, and the Bhava stage is condensing now. Very condensed. So condensed that it attracts the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Okay, so that's how you know that you have come to the Prema Bhakti. So that's what basically is the content of Bhakti Samhita Sindhu. It teaches us about Vaidhi Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. I want to do one small exercise, okay? And I want some group discussion to happen among yourself. We have some time, maybe five of you can make a group, or if you want, I can even split into group. And I would like to have some discussion that more than discussion is introspection. That bhakti that we are doing right now, is it free from Anyavilasa? What is the goal of our bhakti? Because this Bhakti Samhita Sindhu is teaching us, right? So let's have some discussion, and it should be loud. You should be talking. Whatever you have to talk, you talk, and let's have that discussion that where we stand in our bhakti when it comes to Anyavilasya, other desires, and try to be a little honest with your input. Is it clear, Prabhu? What did I say? We want some discussions here within ourselves that where is our bhakti in terms of other ulterior desire. So desire is to come to pure bhakti, where we are. So let's start with somebody. You can share openly, no hesitation, nothing. Just share where you think yourself are, and what you think should be your few steps, action that you will take to have a bhakti that is free from all of the secondary desire. So who will be first?
Where is our bhakti?
I can start, Prabhuji. Or you,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, would like to share something? Manohar Prabhuji?
No, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Okay. Um, Thank you, Prabhuji, for the going through entire the chapter, and thank you so much for emphasizing. To be honest, until now, even though been studying, but this depth have not seen like the stages, 9 stages. So thank you so much for that, Prabhuji. So to be honest on this concept, Anyavilashita Sunam Jnana Karma Dhyanavratam Anukulena Krishna Anusiranam Bhakti Ruttama. So this is the topmost devotional service is defined by this verse. For myself, I'm not there for sure, but at the same time, I feel like it is a gradual process. But I can see clearly when I started the beginning of my Krishna consciousness and today, there is a lot of improvement is there for sure. I would say that. Uh, being associating with the devotees, the senior devotees, and as well as who had the lot of faith in Krishna and in this process, that gives the courage and create the enthusiasm to move forward, and more associating with Srila Prabhupada's lectures and Guru Maharaj's association, Vani, and then the Vapu. So that way it is not there. The Anyapilashita Sunyam state is not there, but definitely there is a lot of improvement in the devotional service. Personally, I would say, Prabhuji. So these are the couple of things. I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. So we have some time, and I wanted to give you some line of sight for the discussions. So this discussion that we are doing, you have to show these three things, okay? In our discussions, we have to, that way, you're a little bit thinking about it. You have to see in terms of these three things, okay? So we are trying to avoid anavilasita. So for that, what action you will take, and how you will communicate that. Communication means how you are communicating those actions. And then finally, it has to bring some change. So if you find out that, okay, and how to give the example, how to go through this one. Okay, I'm going to take the action that any activity that I do, I'm not going to do for my name fame. How you communicate it? You communicate it when you are being glorified, when you are being appreciated, you know that, it's not for me, it's for Krishna, I did it for Krishna. So being humble, you are taking the mood of humility, and you are not boasting yourself that I did this, I'm very great, all those. So that's how you communicate. And finally, transformation. Transformation means some changes that you want to see yourself. So what changes you want to see? I want to see myself that any action that I do for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay. So if we apply this ACT principle, action, communication, and transformation, how I'm acting, how I'm going to communicate, and finally, I have to transform and come to the stage where I am Annavilasita Sunyam. So we can take that as a guideline and then apply those in our answer. So let's do that together, okay? So Prabhu, you want to go back again? You want to try that? We have some time, 2 minutes, or you are good with your answer?
Means I think I'm good, Prabhuji, but specifics if you are looking at how we are.
Yeah, what action you would take to be Annavilasita Sunyam?
Uh, Yeah, I think I'm not ready, bro. Maybe I'll let the others are going ahead. So,
Okay. So who would like to go? Doesn't have to be precise, but try to, just as a guideline, so that your answer is, you have a basically guideline to think, how you have to put your thoughts together. Doesn't have to be perfect, but try in that line. Okay. Manwar Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Yeah, I can. Okay, so action. Um, action, communication, transformation. So you're saying so. Action part of it, transformation. We know the highest transformation is for pleasure of Krishna, but in the initial stages, it's for my purification. So all the bad things are going away that way. So all the anarthas are getting cleansed. I'm being a better person in terms of my angers are going down. My greed level is going down. The my attachments are decreasing. Um, and my knowledge of the shastras are increasing. Those are the transformations I would like to see, which is in the initial stages of it's just learning bhakti shastris. So just trying to touch and the faith it's finished. Means faith is very weak when we go to company of materialists. We are easily swayed away, so we need guardrails to be so it's still in the very low state. The action is of course we have to do our sadhana properly, or listen to shastras, uh, listen all the good things. I was listening to Radheshyam Prabhu's lecture. He says this brain is like a computer hard disk, so you have to use your virus, remove the virus, all the bad things. So the virus cleaner is the chanting process. So so this chanting process is the virus cleaner, the action we have to take. And shastras, listening to shastras, uh, nirvitya tarsher upagiya manat. So bhava aushadis shastra manobhiramat. So we have to take this bhav aushadhi of the listening of the pastimes of Krishna, and the communication side. We have to a communication to whom, Prabhuji? I mean, in this case,
How you communicate, like, humility, truthfulness, that's how you communicate, consistency, so action, you will do sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti is basically how you communicate being on time, like you have some service assigned, right? Cooking. So at 10 o'clock, you have to start cooking. So I will be on the time. So you will communicate through consistency. You'll communicate through humility. You'll communicate through truthfulness. You'll communicate through being honest. Those type of, way you can communicate. And
right.
finally, it will
Certainly.
lead to the transformation that you are looking for. So your answer has everything. I heard the word. And you had those ACT there.
Yeah, I mean, our change of behavior.
Yeah,
Is
that's how we communicate, right?
Yeah.
Being humble, listening to the devotee,
Right.
not too much argument, I see people they are on the Manorathena Dhavati, on their mental platform, too much, argument. I'm right, so these are not the right way to communicate, right? It's bad communication. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Who wants to go next? Prabhu, we have very few minutes left, so everybody please quickly.
Can you hear me, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, I'll go to the very fundamental ABCDE part of the Krishna consciousness when I started, where try to get associated. That's the action as much as I can. I try to have devotees, Guru Maharaj. I still am, waiting for the Guru Maharaj mercy, but I try to get association of other Swamiji, and association of the devotees.
Hmm.
And be humble whenever I get into those
Hmm.
situations. Try to. I mean, this was not 2 years back. Maybe I would say. I see the transformation myself, and in always in accepting mode. What they say, uh, rather than introscope that everything's. So, and again, and whenever I read the books, especially Srila Prabhupada books, I feel so much there, and it is bringing further, you know, closer to the Krishna. I feel that kind of the transformation happening in myself. Last week, I was going through bhakti, this nectar of devotion. I try to cover the books because we have to write the test, and I see so much information. As many times I'm going, I feel it's new things coming up. Um, DT's Seva, Mangal Harti, that is every day I feel very different, very different. Um, Vrindavan I've gone.
Yeah.
So those are things bringing me all this kind of action. Chanting is something I try to improve, but I'm struggling still. I'm not sure I am that level of the chanting where I really want to be at that level. But it's I feel it's improving, but still lots to do there as well. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and humility, right? That is things have changed me a lot. I see at my work as well. When I was interacting with the people, it is not just behavior while associating with the devotees, but other places. That kind of reflections, I feel myself. I was in reactive mode, hurry burry kind of things. Those slowly graduating is I see transformation. So there are a couple of things I went in the basic
Oh,
fundamental.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Yes. No, you mentioned about association. Mataji, Vina Mataji cannot drop. Nobody can drop, okay? Please. You have commitment for this call. The time has not gotten up. So, okay. You cannot drop. And if you are dropping, then you will have negative marks for this drop. You cannot just run away and then get the Bhakti Sastri certificate. I cannot do that, please. Okay, so thank you, Prabhu. Who is next? Who will be the next?
I will go.
Yeah.
So for the acting action part, I'm still struggling on the chanting. I cannot do all the 16 rounds completely. Like still I'm doing it mechanically. I need to develop that part. I mean, I can do like 5 to 6 rounds properly, but after that my mind will go. I have a lot of distraction doing other rounds. So but my transformation part, I will definitely say before I started Krishna consciousness, my truthfulness or like tolerance level are very very low. Now I see a difference, but I'm not telling that I'm 100% on that, but still I see the difference between before and the after starting the Krishna consciousness. And the communication part, I'm whenever whenever I undergo some struggles, my mind always says that Krishna will have better plan than me. But still, my mind will say that, but my heart is still struggling. If something happen in my family or something, I'm completely distracted on that part, and I'm struggling on that piece.
Very good point. How to communicate. Krishna has a better plan for me. Yeah, really I like that statement. If we communicate like that, Krishna has a better plan. I know that I have some suffering. Krishna is thinking more than I'm thinking for myself. No, that's good. Thank you. Who will be the next one? I heard from 4 devotees so far. Please go ahead. Vrinda Sundari Mataji, you want to participate?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Um, I will say, when I first started Krishna consciousness, I was extremely shy. And I didn't know how to act with the world or friends or anything like that. And just continuing and joining the programs like house programs or temple programs or whatnot, I was able to understand how to um, how to act with other people or devotees, I should say, and how to understand Krishna consciousness by reading. I would read at the beginning and completely not have any idea what was I reading or anything like that, but by the association of devotees I could understand better and easier way of understanding what was I reading. And also Krishna consciousness has helped me become, I would say, like
Hmm.
regulated in like my timing. Like if I'm cooking for Krishna, I would have an hour to cook, say at a temple, because there's like a schedule, a time schedule for cooking for the deities at temples. And so that really, really helped me to focus on what I was actually making for food for the deities. And so that would be kind of my communication and being able to tolerate the hectic environment and um, chaos that would be going on in kitchens. And I would say transformation would be being able to speak um, in groups or ask questions or, and not have this only only being inside my head.
Ah,
I've become more a little bit outward and expressing things and asking questions and becoming, I would say, more pure. You know, there's this approaching the supreme pure, which is approaching Sri Krishna, how to approach Krishna.
hmm.
That would be kind of my transformation. And I would
Very good.
say, yes, yes, Prabhu.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes.
Thank you.
You said, regulated. Your
Yes,
life has become more regulated. That's how you communicate, more regulated. 10 years, 15 years, doing one service very consistently. That's regulation. That's communication. That is how you communicate that you are serious about Krishna. No, very good. I know. I don't want to summarize everything, but pretty good. Thank you so much. Who'll be next? So we have Pidana Prabhu, Santa Mataji, and Somya Mataji left. Can you please go quickly? Can we start talking? Somya Mataji, talk.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare
I
Krishna.
can go.
Yeah.
So
Right,
initially,
Prabhu.
Prabhu, I was not able to understand, or I was acting, or uh, reacting, not responding properly in when I started. But slowly, I was able to understand the lectures and then trying to implement those whatever I could understand. And uh, I was trying to point out the issues of directly. I was not communicating properly because I may be bad in communication, but I'm getting better on that. So
Mm.
trying to keep quiet for some time and then think and then respond is my uh, way of changing right now.
Yeah.
And transformation, I am doing better than before. Like Brinda Mataji said, I'm still struggling to do attentive chanting, but I'm able to do some of them at least, and trying to do better. And I'm not really understanding the classes very well, but I need to really work on those much and start asking questions. I'm so quiet, I know, but before asking question, I need to think what really I'm asking. So I'm struggling on that too. So, but what?
Thank you so much. Your answer was perfect. You explained very nicely the communication. You talked about that very nicely. Transformation. You also talked about very nicely. So that's change. That's huge change. Yes. I totally. Thank you so much. For sharing. Appreciate that. Really. I
Thank you.
like you a lot. Thank you. So go ahead. Who is next? So, Ma'am Mataji, you wanna go ahead?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So during the initial stages of my Krishna consciousness, I was like very serious. I used to like do chanting, read Bhagavad Gita on daily basis, listen to like lot of lectures on YouTube. But on any path, there will always be ups and downs, and we have to remain steady in difficulties, reverses, and successes, any of which like could deviate us. So Krishna consciousness is all about developing and deepening of faith from beginning to end, and we have to like do what is like favorable to have and improve our faith. Though we will like repeatedly stumble, we have to keep picking ourselves up, dusting our clothes, and keeping on. I have like stumbled many times in the past, yet even in the worst of times, I continue to practice Krishna consciousness to some degree. I had like lot of material desires like consistent job, consistent visa, so that I could like stay in this country and like don't go back, because that was like one of I was like very passionate to just like stay here and don't go. And also like I would also like the glorification from devotees if I'm doing any service or in the temple or scripts wise anything. But now that like completely change, even if I'm like getting some menial service, it might be not that great, but I'm like happy that at least like I'm getting some service to serve the lotus feet of devotees in that day. I completely like stop taking credit for the services I'm doing. I just like feel like okay, this is like Krishna's mercy that he chose me for this today, for this service.
Yes.
And also I pray to God that whenever like I go to temple, the first thing I pray is at least like give me some service in this day so that I can like feel satisfied. And what I have learned in these years of practice is not take like many services and like stumble. Just take like few services, like even if it's like menial, and be like consistent in it, so that that will like help you develop further in your Krishna consciousness.
Very good. Very good. I like it. Thank you. Okay. So last, Santa Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very good.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavad.
So, according to me, so there is a lot of change, Prabhu, definitely, because previously maybe for anger and all, at least now I'm able to recognize, able to control at some extent, but sometimes always be there where, but that is also only for few seconds. Because now I'm very clear. At least I have full faith. I know where to go. I mean, path is clear. Uh, Only what I will say always is like whatever the things coming in my way, definitely those are all for my improvement. As Krishna, definitely if things goes in my way, that is my plan. Things is not go in my way, that is Krishna's plan, and Krishna's plan is always best. So that's what I always think. And whatever comes in, right, if my kids have problem or my husband, whatever the problem comes in, definitely those are all improvement for my tolerance. That's what I always think. So that is the thing, Prabhu. So it is a going on the path. Whatever comes in, those are all for the improvement where Krishna is bringing it, and going for it, Prabhu. That's all I can say.
Wow. No, I really like this exercise. Thank you all for participating and sharing your thoughts. It's very important. That's called introspection. So Saranam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam, and then Asmarnam. Okay. So in fact, ACT is nothing. The first, Saranam is action. Okay. And Mananam is your communication. How you communicate, how you are introspecting, how you are, so Mananam and Nididhyasnam is put together. That is communication. How you communicate it, and then finally, remembering Krishna all the time, never forgetting Krishna. That's transformation. That can happen in multiple steps. So making changes every day, changing, for sure, my dear devotee, it's not criticism, okay, but know for sure that we have faults. Okay, please, no, I'm not forcing you to say that you should accept, but all of us should know we have faults, we have problem. Okay, Prana very nicely said that I'm trying to improve my communication. Yes, know that doer is Krishna. I'm trying my best. Okay, I success or I fail, it's not in my control. There are limitations, there are situations around you, so many things, but ultimate doer, how much I can get done, how much all of you can get done, depends how much Krishna will empower you. And then you made a very good point, Mataji, Santa Mataji. You said that anything that comes in my life, I think that this is an opportunity for me to improve, develop my tolerance. Yes, these are the right mood of a devotee. Okay, we don't act like, otherwise if you go back and if somebody is fighting, somebody is shouting, I start shouting, somebody is fighting, somebody is criticizing, I start, defending then what is the difference between me and somebody else? Okay, I have my consciousness, you have own consciousness. I can request that, do like that. If you don't respect, if you don't hear, please keep on doing whatever you are doing. So all of these points that everybody mentioned here is pretty important, very good. And I'm really very happy to see, how all of you are transforming and going closer to Krishna. So, getting back to Bhakti Samrita Sindhu, BRS, now next we are going to have the exam. So I'm going to request all of you ASAP work on your homework. Like for example, Vrinda Sundari Mataji sent me all of her homework, so she is done. I'm not sure if other devotees have completed their Bhakti Samrita Sindhu homework. Unless and until you don't do your homework, you cannot give the exam because you have only 2 modules left. And then I'll go back and start having Bhagavad Gita and other classes for Pradhana Prabhu and devotee who join Satyanarayan Prabhu, those who join later. But that doesn't matter. It's just like a circle. You can start anywhere. So please make sure that all the homeworks are done. And then next class, should I go to Upanishad or should I revise, give the summary of all the teaching? How you like to do? That will be the last question and then we adjourn. Should I start Upanishad from next class or should I summarize everything that we have discussed?
You can do the summary, Prabhuji. So if that's okay.
Summary, okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, that even my thinking.
Okay, yeah, I also think that summary will be better because still we have a fresh mind and we have just gone through it. So next class we'll just summarize everything quickly, key slides that we have seen from beginning to end, and then we'll get into Upanishad. That also gives you almost 2 weeks, next week and then following week, to work on your homework. So please, your real learning will happen when you do your homework. Read the Prabhupada's summary and then try to answer the questions. That's how you will build your real learning. So please keep on working. And from
Prabhuji,
second class, yeah.
exam date, Prabhuji, can we discuss?
Exam date, you all can decide. But I think, unless not I don't receive the homework, we cannot give the exam. So for this is very, critical. For Bhakti Samrita Sindhu, I want to make sure that, homework is submitted. Devotees who are not submitting homework, they cannot give the exam. That's what, that's how we have to do. Because it's very important that homeworks have 65% weight. If you don't do homework, you are losing 65% of your marks. Measure, contribution. So homework is very, very important. So please go ahead and do the homework. And yes, Mataji, Bimala Mataji, you can keep on asking about the dates. That will also, help devotees to expedite their homework so that they can give the exam.
I will put some dates, Prabhuji.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, everybody. Vanchkalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyavasya पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णवीन की जय।
जय।
असंभव भक्तवृंद की
जय।
जय। Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. See you
Hare
next
Krishna.
Krishna.